Country, take it from the top. Thanks for tuning in for Mondays with Micah. I'm Micah McCarley, your host. I have the group MasterPeace with me today. Hi, y'all. Hey. What's up, y'all? Y'all's very first time on the show.
Yes, it is.
Right. Yes. Tell us about MasterPeace.
Well, the group started with mom and me, Katie Wright and Joan Wright. I've had a dream of doing music probably since I was, I don't know, a teenager, and my mom and I moved away from Iowa to Branson, Missouri, because I've told her many times, years growing up, I want to do stuff in music, and Joan Wright knows as well as I do that in the small town I come from up in Iowa, there was no way I was going to have many opportunities up in my small town where I come from in Iowa. So we looked at a variety of different tourist areas in Branson, and we looked at a variety of different tourist areas throughout the area, and of all the places we picked or looked at, Branson ended up being the one. So
because of the not just the cost of living, but at the time they'd had the tornado through here, and I thought the economy could use some rebuilding, so I thought it was a good choice to come down here and get her involved in music down here, because she might have more opportunities. So that was part of it too. And also I had looked at the pictures of Branson and its devastation. My heart went out to it, and I prayed about it. And God said, praise him with singing and dancing.
That was what I felt God told me at the time, was that God told me in a dream I had many years ago, he wanted me to praise him with singing and dancing. And I do that in a variety of different ways. I'm part of a church worship team in my area of Branson, Missouri, and I played drums and percussion. And very recently, 4 years ago, I started learning how to play piano. So some of the songs we do, sometimes I will be on the piano playing a few chords to a song that we do. So,
she does quite well, especially depending on the song. We've written some original music. I did work with a composer. He's based out of Wisconsin, called Nathaniel Bloomberg. We co-wrote a song together, Where Love Won't Betray. It's actually about my experience during COVID, because I had a very serious bout of COVID. And I thought at the time, if I don't write this song, write these words down, it's never going to get done. And so it was a love song to Jesus during COVID. And it's about Jesus' experience with the two thieves, the one on the right and the one on the left, and their stories and how they had different approaches, but Jesus had the same love. That was that song I wrote. I had to put a hi for Nathaniel. I hope he hears this podcast, because obviously he's also a very semi-famous composer regionally. He wants to get the song, so that people would be able to have a witness. So
what a beautiful song, and it sounds like a beautiful message as well.
Yeah. Now, we wrote another one about a year later called Come On Down to the CrossRoads and Give Your Heart to Jesus. It's the full title, but usually when I tell people when we perform it, we say CrossRoads or Come On Down to the CrossRoads. And it's the song about, it's got a kind of like Loretta Lynn country style to it. And it's got all the good musicians that I could pull into the studio. Wayne Massengill's on there. Greg Moody is on there. And these musicians are amazing, and they're multi-talented in many areas with their instruments. But I did the good thing. I didn't just go to the computer and put it all together. I actually had these guys come in the studio and help us record this.
What a beautiful song as well, and sounds like it's got a great message.
It does. It's a witness to Jesus. It's a direct witness. It's even more direct. I'd say it's even more direct than Where Love Won't Betray.
And you guys will get a chance to hear it tonight once she's ready to play the piece that I sent her.
Yeah, because it was a previous performance at Jimmy Jack before. Unfortunately, they don't have it slated to do tonight. We're doing a fun song tonight. We're actually doing a seasonal song.
Well, this is the time of year of Christmas, and there's a lot of Christmas songs being played on all the stations.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
But let me tell you about our newest addition to the band. Just within the last 3 or 4 weeks is Vince Spencer and Alex Spencer. Alex, come up here and sit. I know what you guys
say a few things. It is great to be on the show. This is the first time ever on a real podcast show like you do. This is a real honor. We really appreciate this so much.
Yes, we all do.
God, glory goes to God.
Amen.
This is such a wonderful dream and an experience, and people like y'all with similar situations like what I've been through or going on right now. Y'all are great friends, and I'm so thankful I finally got to meet y'all. And
yes, ma'am.
Before I let Vince and Alex speak, I do want to say one more thing. the main goal I have for this music group, besides just having Mom and I fulfill our dream, I also want to point out the other, as Dylan Pratt mentioned on his part of the podcast, Mom and I have a similar goal to Dylan. We want to give people with special needs a chance to shine. Let people know that people with special needs can have just as much of opportunity to have a gift from God, talent, and being able to perform as much as any other person who performs.
Now we're going to give Spencer Kaufman. Now Spencer joined us about a year and a half ago, and he's been playing festivals with us because we've been kind of like, we're still kind of getting our act together to get out there, to get known in Branson.
Well, thanks for having me. This is a blessing for God tonight. So when I started playing with MasterPeace, it was amazing because when I went over to their house, let me go back to that story. I went to a Stone County building. They told me about them. I have their CD, and they actually lived next door to where I live at the St. Street. I live at Colmsford Firm. Or next doors to me. They were looking for people with disabilities, so I get to join their band, and so we actually are a team. So this is a gift, and God brought us to a whole other platform and a whole other journey, and so this is why I'm performing with them. I knew that music, when I realized that they put me in their band, I knew I wanted to get involved with this right away, and so this is why I love performing with them, and I want to say thank you for having me. It's been
Absolutely.
a blessing.
Right.
He's been a blessing, and it's a plus. Now I want to give a chance to Vince and Alex to talk. Okay. Because they got to finish their testimony. It's amazing.
About a couple months ago, I believe, Alex and I were me especially, I was waiting for an opportunity to perform in a Branson show. I've been wanting to do that ever since I was a little kid. And Jesus comes to the doorstep and says, "You have an opportunity, take it or leave it." And I said, take it. So,
That's funny.
thank you so much, Band Mom,
That's what I'm known
for
as
having
now.
us.
Yes.
Band
Thank you so
manager.
much, Band
Band
Manager.
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom.
Thank you so
Band
much
Mom.
for just having us on board, being a part of this. And what we do it for God. And we do it because, like she said, people with autism or any other disability can have just as much opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, Alex, would you like to say something?
Yeah, sure.
This is Vince's brother.
My twin brother.
Alex?
Well, thank you all for having me today. I am so blessed to be here tonight. And I've always dreamed of performing in a Branson show just like my brother. And God just, he gave us that, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what range level you sing. You can go as low. You can go
Yeah,
low.
I can sing like low.
He can sing on the bass spectrum.
And I can play the keyboard too.
Yeah, he does.
I cannot wait to hear y'all perform tonight. I bet it's going to be one of the best performances ever.
Oh, and there's one more person I want to introduce you to.
He's not in the room.
Yeah, he's right here.
So thank you all for having me.
He's getting all geared up for what he's going to do a cameo tonight.
Oh, cool.
Eric has worked with us on a previous time we did Jimmy Jack. We wrote an original song called Mr. Snowman, and Eric is our actor. What Eric does is that he comes forward in a character, and he had a full snowman costume that was as white as a house, you know. It was like three balls and the buttons and the nose and the whole nine yards. He'll tell you all about it. But tonight he's getting ready to do a far different character. I'm going to let you know, because since you guys are not attending the show tonight, but you're actually hearing about it, he'll tell you about it.
People like y'all with similar situations and all, it's been such an honor to meet y'all, and it's such a big surprise. This is actually my very first time being a part of it and getting involved with other similar situations to help out. It's like giving back.
That's right. And that's the whole favor of it. Give a little bit, give a little bit back. That's how you do it.
And of course, the most important is don't let anything tear you down, because you gotta chase your dreams. You'll do whatever you can that will guide you, and so that's what Jesus wants us to do.
And
That's
my
right.
best advice, patience. If anything the Lord has taught me, I am not a manager. I never have been a good manager. I mean, I was a manager of a dollar store, and I'm telling you, patience is a virtue in this business. It really is. People don't think it is, because if you wait for good things, they come. You know.
My recommendation probably would be to try to be as accommodating and working with other people as much as you can, because it's been my experience, because I've seen many bands throughout the years fall apart due to the fact that this person can't get along with that person, and they both bicker, argue over my way or the highway sort of thing, and because of the fact that they don't accommodate or work together, the band ends up falling apart and they go their separate ways sometimes. So try to work and be as accommodating and listening to other people as much as you can, I guess.
You know, I know the same way, because my situation, I was diagnosed with autism, I think I was about 3 years old.
Wow.
So,
Oh, that's young.
and all the surgeries I've had since I was born.
Wow.
Brain, shunts, here, there, back, you name it.
Wow. You've been through it all.
Yeah.
Wow, you have.
Well, I was diagnosed with slight learning disability and ADHD when I think I was about 4, maybe 5, 6 years old.
was around about-
somewhere around there. It was in kindergarten, and I ended up getting held back 1 year in kindergarten and repeat kindergarten for 1 year, and so eventually I ended up going into special ed for 12 years of my school career. And basically, yeah, I mean, I've been ever since then, I've been trying to find ways to show people that I could do just as much as any other person, basically.
Getting back to the fact we've written original music, when we wrote the one that we were talking about, Mr. Snowman, it was a comedy parody. And this is the gentleman that's come forward to do this more than once. He is our actor, kind of like / part of MasterPeace, that's kind of like the non-music part of it. But this is why we work with people with different gifts, because we want everyone to feel comfortable to come forward and read poetry, or come forward and write a poem, or do some kind of a comedy. He's done our comedy.
Yeah.
So say something.
I'm Eric Pemberton, and I do most of the comedy, like she said. And Vince is actually, or no, Alex. The name's mixed up. But Alex is supposed to be doing the Grinch, and he's going to chase me on the stage.
You mean Santa Claus?
Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah, Santa's going to try out
We'll
after the
Don't worry
Grinch.
about it.
How long have you been doing your career?
For a few years. It's been building here and there. I did a few acting stuff back when I was younger in high school, and it kind of built up to it. I quit a little bit, and then I went back into it when they invited me to do some comedy stuff back in the day. So I've been doing it, and that's pretty much been my whole journey, is to see other people perform and then being able to help them in that when they need that. So it's kind of been a godsend for me.
How long have you been with the group?
Oh, as the group, yeah. As the group, we've kind of evolved from different people we've had in MasterPeace. And honestly, MasterPeace is not just one group.
person.
It's multiple people. It's
has been.
different rhythms, sounds,
Yeah.
instruments, people. It's everything. So
And we incorporate everybody's gifts. If somebody comes forward and says, I would like to do something that I don't have a format to do, like read my poem that I wrote, or I've got a piece of art that I want you guys to set to music. We actually did an artist night one night where a lady did a painting while we were doing our MasterPeace song, and that song is Be the Comfort People, and she did this beautiful painting of a baby in the palm of someone's hand. It was like a really tiny baby, like a premature baby.
Wow.
Actually,
so sweet.
actually, that was Where Love Won't Betray.
Oh, is that where love? But see, she's my memory too. That's a good thing.
Katie, you do very well. That reminds me, like if Granny or any other members of my family mess something up, I go right in.
Yeah, she's stiff. She doesn't hold back. But neither one of my daughters do. I have 2 daughters, and they're both very bold.
My family go nuts over that one. Katie, you and I are a match with that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
I guess.
This song you were mentioning, us come down to the crossroads. Share a little bit about that one.
That one came. I wrote the one during COVID, before, but that one came after COVID, and that was when I had got it in the back of my mind after prayer. Well, I woke up at 3 a.m.
Well, what happened was my mom wrote the lyrics, but the other part of the story was I was actually sitting at home with Mom watching a movie that night, and my mom showed me some of the lyrics that she wrote to that song, and she just hummed a tune to it, or sang a tune to it, and then within seconds after she started singing the tune, a drum rhythm came to me, because I play percussion and drums. That percussion and drums is my main instrument. Even though I play piano, but percussion and drums are my main instrument, and so a drum rhythm came to me when she sang that song to me, and so I immediately showed her the drum rhythm to what I think would be perfect for that song. And then within a few days, maybe a week or something like that, after that moment, we went into the studio, and the rest is history. We got a bunch of musicians in, and I played drums.
I have a wonderful sound guy. I have to put a plug in for Atlantis Recording, because that's Rich Brown. He is a genius. I can't say more praise for him, because he's worked with Spencer, he's worked with a number of my friends who are in the music business, and he has worked with amateurs, he's worked with people who've never been in the studio before, he works with some of the people that perform on the 76 Strip. This man has done everything. He can take a rhythm like what we brought into him, which was in its very rudimentary stage, and he says, okay, we're going to fill it in with this, and what do you think about this? And how about this instrument? And I can pull Wayne Massengale in on the violin, or we can do, Greg Moody on this part. That's how it all came together to make it sound so filled out, because you'll find out it's pretty filled out as far as what we did.
When people hear this song, what do you hope they'll get out of the message?
Well, the main message to come on down to the crossroads is that if anyone knows what the word crossroads is, a crossroads means you got one path over here, one path over there. Which path are you going to choose? Our message in the song is basically, which path are you going to choose? Are you going to choose Jesus, or are you going to choose the devil, basically?
Or not even just that. Are you going to choose selfishness, or are you going to choose love?
That's right.
Are you going to choose a response to a person based on fear? Or are you going to do a response based on being bold for the gospel, being bold for the word, Jesus, and putting forward his will as opposed to your own will? The idea behind Crossroads was, there's a lot of country songs called Crossroads. I was kind of playing off that a little bit, but I wanted to turn it around and make it more centered on the cross. Because if you look at a cross, it has a beam that goes down, and then it has a beam that goes across. And how many intersections in this country have a crossroad?
Right.
So that's the whole idea, to take it and use the spiritual concept behind it. That's kind of the bare bones idea behind it.
Did you ever release this song?
We have it published. It's now published, and it's basically on. I gotta call.
I have a lot of recording.
Craig Backstrom's got it.
It's under We do have it licensed under BMI.
It's BMI
through our friend Craig Backstrom. I did perform it. Our group had a chance to perform it in a few different festivals, and we are looking into hopefully doing some churches, hopefully sometime next year.
You gotta get Crossroads into the churches, because it has a good message.
And I am hopefully, if I could get some people to agree to let our group have a chance, I'm hoping to be able to do a performance or so in Springfield next year. But I do have this song published on my personal Facebook page, where if you go back quite a ways, like when we've done a few festivals and stuff, you'll see that it's been performed.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it did have a little bit of nibble out of some person out of Nashville, but first we did a background check on that person. We found out it was kind of seedy, so we kind of stayed away from it, because this is a very special song, and we don't want anybody just running with it, taking it, redoing it, and then just calling it their own. So we're very careful. I'm Mama Bear when it comes to the bands. And anything these guys do, I'm very protective of. So.
How can people contact y'all and get y'all's music?
Basically, I would say start with Katie Wright.
I do have two different Facebook pages. I have my personal Facebook page, but I also have Facebook. I do have my public page where basically sometimes I'll get on there and post some stuff of different events that we do.
I started a Facebook page after we did the festivals this year, since we have Spencer on board.
So
it's called MasterPeace Festival Event.
My contact information on Facebook is basically Katie Wright, KatieWright.
That's her personal.
Just so that nobody confuse it with the Y.
Now, the best way is start with MasterPeace Festival Events, and then Katie will contact you via that group, and then give you more information about how to contact the person that holds the. He holds like half the royalty to it. We hold the other half, so it's like, yeah. It's like, I was kind of leery because we'd never done any publishing at all. So we had to find someone who was a friend we could really trust.
Thank y'all so much for coming on this show and sharing your wonderful message.
God
your
bless
career.
you. Thank you.
Once again, give us out your contact.
Katie Wright, KATIEWRIGHT. I say that so that no one confuses it with the Y, because some people spell Katie with Y.
Now,
Yeah.
Spencer's written some music too, so give his contact too.
Really? Okay. So I've written a few songs. One of my favorites is A Special Person. And I wrote this song when I was 19 in January of 2023 because I was diagnosed at age 4 with autism. But I'm high functioning now. And I was also diagnosed at because of my autism, I struggled with listening and angerness and some listening and some understanding things. And when I was also 6 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes because for some reason my blood was up to like 800 or 900, so I will have to be insulin dependent in order to live. And I actually discovered when I got into performing was America's Got Talent. Grace Vanderwall was my inspiration, who got me into songwriting, and Luke Combs and George Strait, who are both my inspirations that got me into country music. And so I'm so happy to be a part of MasterPeace for a year and a half. So this
Tell
is
them
why.
how they can look into finding out more about your songs. Or you have a way to contact.
Or even finding
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Contact.
So I have a YouTube channel called Spencer Kaufman Songwriter. You pronounce that with C, with O, with 2 F's, and then you end it with man, M-A-N.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's the best way to get in touch
Man.
with Spencer if you want to find out about Spencer's special songs.
No,
That's
I give
right.
yours.
So I just perform with these guys. I do a little bit of music myself. You can go to my Facebook page at Vince Spencer. That's the only Facebook page I have. You'll see the music and some personal stuff and some Jesus posts and all that. Hope you guys enjoy that.
Thank y'all so much for coming on Mondays with Micah. This is y'all's very first time, and I'm looking forward to more in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
And now here's the group MasterPeace with Come Down to the Crossroads on Heaven's Country. Take it from the top.